Humans of the Cardboard, welcome back to Just the Nuts, guys. Today we are taking a look at two brand new Ancient Warrior cards revealed for Dimension Fusion, the next core set after Battle of Chaos. Rounding out the set with some cool, interesting new support. We should still have another brand new archetype coming at some point in the set to be revealed in the next week and a half probably, but still pretty interesting. I like Ancient Warriors. I honestly wasn't expecting to get more support anytime soon, but here we go. Two new cards, a monster and a continuous spell, as they like to do. Anyway, this starting off, we have Ancient Warriors Cruel Dong Zong. Amazing name. It's this boy right here. Let's get a better close up there. There we go. This guy here, and then there's our continuous spell. Very nice. So anyway, this is Cruel Dong Zong. He's a level 6 Dark Beast Warrior effect monster. His attack is 2200, his defense is 1800, and his first and third effects are hard once per turn. The first effect reads, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one level 7 or higher Ancient Warrior monster, or one Ancient Warrior continuous spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Okay, cool, yeah, just a +1 on summon, cool. Second effect, while you control a level 7 or higher Ancient Warrior monster, your opponent must pay 400 life points to activate cards or effects. That is, by the way, every single card slash effect. So, depending on the kind of deck they're playing, they may have to pay a good bit of life points just to even clear this off the field. It's not a horrible effect, but that definitely feels like the bonus effect, if anything. And the third effect here, if a monster is sent to your opponent's graveyard, you can target one card in your opponent's graveyard as cost, banish it, and if you do, draw one card. That's pretty good as well. By the way, if it just says if a monster or monsters is sent, just generically sent to the graveyard, it could be Foolish Burial, it could be discarded from hand, it could be linked off, synchroed off, detached as Exceed material. Anything that puts a monster in grave can trigger this effect, which is very, very easy to trigger. You just target any card and banish it. That's pretty good. That could be a response to DPE. That could be a way to, and then also draw a card, obviously. And this is kind of one of those effects that you'll probably be trying to use every single turn if you can. Not bad. Okay, so I think overall pretty good here. Obviously, the big elephant in the room with this card is, how do I get it on field, right? This is a level 6 and it has no condition to summon itself. Albeit though, when it hits the field, it's pretty decent. The first effect's a +1, right? You're just searching any high level AW monster or continuous spell or trap in the archetype. That's pretty good. Second effect has a nice little, I wouldn't say floodgate effect, but it does put your opponent in an interesting position, especially if it's a longer duel, a grindier duel. You're able to keep putting this guy on the field, and that way your opponent does feel the pressure of every time. It's kind of like Trick Stars, right? They don't want to put themselves in range of like Lily Bell, so you can just walk away with a cheap win or something. So definitely cool. And then the third effect is decent. It could be Disruption. It's just like a good grind card. You're getting to draw turn after turn every time your opponent has a monster sent to grave. Like, pretty good. I'll take it for sure. So yeah, pretty good. I think it's pretty good. We just need to see how we get this guy on the field. All right, next up here we have our other Ancient Warrior card. This is Ancient Warrior Saga, Defying the Warlord's Demands. Very cool. We already saw the artwork up there. Continuous spell, obviously 2 hard once per turn effects. The first one reads, during your main phase, you can special summon one Ancient Warriors monster from your hand. Oh, well, okay. And if you do, you take damage equal to its level times 100. It is what it is. The damage isn't the best for like time purposes, but the Ancient Warriors, for all intents and purposes, is a more offensive deck, I would say. So I wouldn't be expecting to go to time all too often. But yeah, cool. Extends from the hand, not terrible for sure. And the second effect, you can send this face-up card from your spell and trap card to the zone to the graveyard, then target one Ancient Warrior monster on the field as cost, change its attribute. Then, if you activated this effect by targeting a monster your opponent controls, you can take control of it. Interesting. Okay, so so I think the synergy here is mainly supposed to be for the other high-level Ancient Warrior. So the guy who can just jump on board as long as you control the highest attack stat Ancient Warrior monster on the field. So that's like always if you're just playing Ancient Warriors. And then he's kind of like a Trident. But he says like on the end phase, if whoever controls like the highest attack point monster on the field, like he switches control to them or something. He has like a weird condition where he switches hit control of himself, but it doesn't happen all that often. But this would be a way to be able to steal him back, because you're only able to steal a monster if it's an ancient warrior monster. I guess theoretically you could also be playing against Bird Up and they may have cheated out their own double dragon lords, so I guess you could just be able to activate this into him, make that a pretty good going second card in those situations. But that's pretty specific there, you know, specific matchup, specific combo lines where they go through him. Yeah, not the most important thing in the world, but pretty cool. I mean, listen, you may be saying like, oh, so I have to search this guy and then search the spell just to get him out of the hand. And to that I say yes, but also don't forget that if you just get to double dragon lords, it's a free +1. If you get to this situation where you're able to special summon this guy from the hand, he's immediately a +1. If you already didn't have the big guy, like I just talked about, that jumps on the field and then he's like a trident, boom, he just gets you that on top of having this card on the field for the graveyard / draw on the opponent's turn. Or you could grab something else. I know the other spells are, if you haven't normal summoned that turn, I know most turns to even get here, you would be a normal summoning, but if you haven't, you would be able to like make a double dragon lords. If you already had this guy, search the spell, summon this guy from the hand, then search the spell that gets you a search when you normal summon, I think, an Ancient Warriors monster, and then continue to play from there. Search one of the smaller monsters, normal summon it, whatever. So I don't think these are bad cards. I just don't know how seamlessly they work just yet, right? Like obviously this card, the monster is powerful and the spell is nice, just a nice extender, maybe even be a one of, even if you don't want to play this guy, but he's probably a one of regardless, because you really don't want to draw him that much, but he's decent. I think he might be worth it for sure, especially in a pure build. So very cool stuff. I think these are solid. I'm not disappointed with these. I mean, they could have been better, but once we got the link to, I was like, damn, they really, and also the other big guy, like they really gave the deck some powerful cards for sure. But we'll see. Yeah, I think this works. So that's going to do it for me today, guys. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts on these two cards. How good do you think they end up being? I think the monster for me ends up being like, I don't know, a 7, right? I think like everything else on him is awesome, except for the fact he doesn't summon himself. And that's why he drops down so far, because he is technically a brick. And then for the spell, I think the spell is probably like a 6. I mean, it just extends from hand, and the second effect, changing attributes for your Ancient Warriors, can be nice to help meet requirements for some of the card effects that need certain attributes and stuff. But outside of that, I mean, the card's fine, but it mainly works with stuff like him or being able to extend other Ancient Warriors out of your hand. So this would have been way better if you could just like special summon a Beast Warrior from hand, but I get why they didn't make it that generically good. So yeah, pretty good stuff. I'm pretty happy here. Let me know your thoughts down below. Is there any weird synergies I didn't mention here that are important to note for these cards that definitely make them better and or worse, depending on what you got in mind? But yeah, let me know that stuff in the comments. I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you have not yet and you want to see more review videos as cards drop for these new sets. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.